Hi, everybody. Hope you had a good day today. We have cloudiness. It has come in. We may or may not see a trace of moisture overnight tonight into Friday morning. Maybe some flurries up in the mountains. It looks like that's about it. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill coming to you from the Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington area. My headline, assuming we get a trace of moisture or less tonight on this Thursday night, Portland dry streak to reach 17 days. That would be no moisture through Wednesday of next week. That is a long dry stretch for January. Next, likely rain showing up the last couple of days of the month, January 30th into the 31st. And that's basically into not this weekend, but the following weekend, as you're looking at the European model showing a decent cold trough with the front coming in on that Thursday and some rain on Friday into the weekend. Over here on the right, I will give you an update on something we talked about yesterday, the mid-February colder, more active, low snow level pattern that we were looking at. But I really think as we are now used to these cold nights, that the big story is the dry streak. By the way, Portland this morning dipped down to 27 degrees, and generally in the valley from Albany up to Eugene, it was and then up into Vancouver and Kelso and Longview. Low temperatures in the valley were basically 22 to about 29 degrees. Again, Portland was 27. We did make it to 48 today, though, which thrilled me because that's 3 days in a row that I've hit the Portland high temperature exactly right. 47, 49, 48 have been the last 3 days. But to this graphic, today, day 11, double ones, day 11 of no measurable precip in Portland and really much of the Pacific Northwest. January so far, these are PDX site specific numbers, 2.17 inches of total moisture, and that came the first week of the month. The climate average for the entire 31 days is 5.03. And if you're wondering, well, are we in record territory? The answer is no. Driest January 1.02 in 1949. And you have to have less than 2 inches for the entire month to make the top five list of dry Februarys. And if we get some of the last couple of days of the month, we're going to be somewhere around 50% of normal when January 31 comes to an end. But again, so far just 2.17. Mount Hood snowpack, if you're wondering, 84 inches of depth measured today at the 5,400 foot level at the Mount Hood test site. That's off of Timberline Road. And if you weigh that snow, the water content still comes in at 103% of normal. But remember, we built up a surplus both on mountain snow and certainly on valley rain. I mean, you go back to I think December 30th, it was 130% of normal snowpack. So the tipping point is today. By the time we wake up tomorrow morning, Portland will actually be slightly below normal for the water year going back to October. Mount Hood snowpack in the next couple of days will fall below 100% of snowpack to date. So the bottom line is this dry spell, now 11 days strong, has been enough to basically erase the surplus that we had built up with a wet November and a wet December. All of this information brought to you by the Momentous Wealth podcast. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, listen on Spotify. Momentous Wealth podcast, a number of investment topics for you to choose from, met for educational purposes, brought to you by Momentous Wealth Management, licensed in Oregon and Washington. Okay, let's get you going with what is happening tonight and tomorrow, and then we'll take a look ahead at the upper flow patterns. So on the left, again, it's 5:30 on this Thursday early evening. See the blue? None of this is being reported as measurable precip. But the fact that the radar is hitting something tells you that the cloud deck is low, and there certainly could be some traces of light moisture coming in this evening and overnight. Down here, this is the visible satellite picture. We're getting into darkness, so it's kind of losing its resolution, but it's kind of great to look at. So I think it's going to, yeah. Here is the increasing cloudiness. There's Portland where my cursor is. I'll just leave it there. Increasing mid to high level clouds we had today, but now thicker cloud cover is certainly coming in. And with the thicker moisture and a cold front dropping over the Columbia River at about 1 o'clock tonight, again, we could get some traceable amounts or just barely measurable precip amounts. Here's the front showing up. This is a bit old. This imagery hasn't updated, but it does show you the solid cloud band that's coming down over us in the front that comes into the Columbia River again between midnight and 1 o'clock tonight. So either nothing, a trace of moisture, or just barely measurable. We'll see how all of that pans out. Here's the upper level trough, which primarily where you see the 500 millibar contour is 18,000 feet, primarily stays to our north up into Canada. And then once this front passes, we're bone dry for the weekend. This will take temperatures down a notch, temperatures that have been warming up. I mean, these were the 5 o'clock numbers. Timberline, it was 40 degrees still at 5 p.m. Pass level temperature 40 degrees at government camp. All the passes are in great shape. They're all dry. They're clean. But 45 at Santiam, a little bit cooler, 38 at Willamette, Cabbage Hill, 38 out in the blues. Siskiyou Summit just bone dry and 45 degrees. Now, so we have been really pretty nice in the afternoons, and certainly today up on the mountain, they're really warmed up. But with the front coming in tonight, even though it could be completely dry, the snow level will drop to 2,000 feet during the day tomorrow. That's just a sign that this air mass is getting cooler for tomorrow and Saturday. And then it warms back up in the next week. Look at the snow levels on Sunday, 5,000, 6,000, Monday, 6,000. Tuesday and afternoon highs, we get back up into the 40s. But I think only around freezing tomorrow and Saturday if you are going up to the high country. Always check conditions, of course, before you go. And speaking of, here is the afternoon 4:30 report for high temperatures and low temperatures. Good old-fashioned tabular form. Kind of tough to read, but I'll take you through it. Astoria, 33 this morning, 48 this afternoon. It was 52 down in Florence, by the way. Portland, 48, as I mentioned, 27 the low. I'm just picking out some of these. Salem, you hit 50 degrees today. I bet that felt great after the morning low of 28. Eugene was 45 after a morning low of 23. North Bend, you folks have been mild. You had 59 the other day, 56 today after a low of 30 degrees. And then out east, let's see here. The Dalles only 40 after a low of 20. Let's see here. I want to find Pendleton Airport, 41 today. So cooler, a low of 20 this morning. Where else? Prineville hit 50 today. So there have absolutely been some warm spots around. But again, cooler numbers the next 2 days as we change air masses up a bit, if you will. Okay. So really, here's the upper level flow pattern. This is 4 o'clock this afternoon, European model. See the little trough right here? Again, we saw that narrow band of clouds. That's in the process of coming through us tonight. Maybe it drops a trace of moisture, barely measurable. Maybe it doesn't do anything. And then we get developing sunshine on Friday and Saturday. Temperatures will be held down a little bit. But the forecast is all dry through Wednesday, and eventually we're going to be warming up. And I'll show you the 7-day numbers in a moment. Here comes for the weekend. Here's tomorrow, that cold trough moving out. And then here's Saturday. Upper level low develops in California. You may have heard they have a weekend rain chance down there. I mean, they still have fires going. They still had a high wind warning for the first part of today. So they would welcome at least the cooler weather. Here's the ridge that we will be feeding off, giving us a north to northeast surface flow going into the weekend. Still looks like Saturday will be breezy to gusty, by the way, with winds in the gorge gusting 25 to 40 miles per hour on Saturday. And much of the Willamette Valley was the east winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Again, that's on Saturday. Those same winds would be easing on Sunday. Here's the dry streak all the way into Wednesday. See that trough? And then what I had on my homepage, this is Thursday, showers developing or rain during the day. The front comes through Thursday night into Friday. This is rain at times on Friday, January 31st. And then here's still showers and northwesterly flow on Saturday, February 1st. Here's the polar jet contour just off to our northwest. But these, I would think, have a good chance to be snow down to 3,000 feet, at least part of this time. Again, this is that weekend, 2 weekends from this weekend, basically. So, no, let me back up. A week from this weekend. Again, this is Saturday, February 1st. Here's Groundhog Day. I love Groundhog Day. Looks like we'll have a northwest flow pattern that could lead to low clouds in the morning, which means the groundhog would not see a shadow and spring would be early. That's the way the legend goes. Okay, here is a little system on February 5th. Pretty weak. There's some dry weather. Here's another system on February 8th. Not the strongest thing, but at least some rain chances. And then here's some more drying going into February 10th, 11th, 12th. Here's a system on the 12th. See, let me play this back. This is really alarming. Looks pretty good. It's going to come in. No, weekends it bounces up around us. That's on the 12th. And then remember that on the homepage I showed you of this video, I had that European model on the 16th that we looked at just yesterday. Well, here's the 15th and here's the 16th. Look how it weakens it. Nothing. I mean, nothing. Nick system, Let me back it up. Here's the 18th. Looks like it's going to come in. Big ridge, though, up into Wyoming, up into Utah, and it kind of bounces around us. There's the 19th. So all of a sudden, now we're back to being dry. This is what the model's been doing. And maybe the model tomorrow goes back to showing some cold weather and low snow chances on the 16th, 17th. But they've been bouncing stuff in and then taking it away. And the longer this goes on, the longer the models give us something, then take it away, the greater the chances, in reality, typically this is the way it works, that we would not get snow or ice or anything in the Willamette Valley between now and March 1st. Still a long ways out for things to develop, but March 1st typically would end the chance of winter precip. Now, I do want to play this into, speaking of, here is the last day of February, showers. Here is March 2nd. Here's March 3rd. Here's March 4th. Now, that's a cold upper level low. That's March 5th, but it would be a westerly flow. It would probably be a chilly day in the 40s with rain. So we'll see. Again, the models show us the chance of some active weather, and then they take it away, and that simply has not changed. I do want to. Boy, can I? Oh no, never mind. Okay, all right, sorry. Let me show you the forecast. Here's Medford. All dry until Thursday, right? That's probably the biggest message I have. If we don't get any light moisture tonight, all dry through Thursday. And there's no moisture chance at all down in Southern Oregon. Medford, a little bit cooler in the coming days, 47, 46, 47 Sunday, back up to the 50s, eventually going into next week. Overnight lows in the 20s. So we still have a lot of frosty nights upcoming. Here's Bend. 15 tonight, 12 Saturday morning, 16 Sunday morning. Wow. There's that cooler air mass, highs only in the 30s. Then starting on Monday, we at least warm back up in the 40s. And there's that chance of moisture on Thursday, kind of what we talked about. Here's Salem. Decreasing clouds after some cloudiness Friday morning, 46. Still cold nights in the 20s. Sunny weekend. Chance of rain holds off until Thursday. That's that 17-day run of no measurable precip. Isn't that crazy? Here's Pendleton. 22 Friday morning, 19 Saturday morning, 20 Sunday morning. Daytime highs only in the mid 30s the next several days, on Saturday and Sunday anyway. And then slowly getting back up to around 40 the mid part of next week. Okay. Now, Seattle has a decent chance, I would think, of getting some precip overnight tonight. We'll see. The show's becoming mainly sunny, though, quickly during the day, high of 42. Freezing nights, even up in Seattle, daytime highs only in the 30s, 40s. If you don't get anything tonight, you'll be dry until Thursday, kind of the messaging that we've been having. North Bend, no chance of rain down south until Wednesday into Thursday of next week. You were in the 50s, you've been well up into the 50s, but only 49 Friday, Saturday. That's that little cool down and then warming back up. Okay. So everything's kind of what we've been talking about for the most part. All right, here's my Portland 7-day. So tomorrow, cloudiness in the morning. I may rethink this. Understand this. If we have cloudiness in the morning, we have a good chance of staying above freezing in the Willamette Valley. If we wake up and the clouds have already thinned out by sunup tomorrow morning, then it's probably going to be freezing, okay? 45 the high, slightly cool. And if anything, I would think it could be cooler than 45, not warmer. And then Saturday, again, the breezy east winds could be 10 to 20 mile per hour range across much of the Willamette Valley 95 corridor, with east winds maybe even to 20 at the coast. Gusty winds in the West Gorge and into East Clark County and Willamette, Multnomah County and East Clackamas County Saturday. Could be some gusts there to about 40 miles per hour. Those winds drastically fade away, and most of us will have light winds on Sunday. Look at the frosty lows, though. 32, 27, 28 Monday, 29 Tuesday. A little bit warmer, 50 next Monday and Tuesday. Fog potentially Wednesday morning. Rain develops on Thursday. This is courtesy of Hazeldale Tire Pros up here in Clark County on Highway 99. Okay. That is your update. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. As always, I thank you for taking the time to listen to my forecast work. It means a lot to me. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. That helps me out, and you will be notified when I post. For now, I'll talk to you soon.